the bottom thereof. Now exists a real possibility that the county government of Machakos shall consider pursuing the most appropriate and relevant options available within the established mechanisms of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya 2010 as read with the relevant provisions of the enabling and enacted laws in safeguarding the interests and rights that accrue in that regard.
The raging supremacy battles in Mount Kenya has taken another twist, with members of parliament from Mount Kenya East breaking ranks with Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, signaling fresh succession battle ahead of 2027 elections. In a move that could split the vote-rich region right in the middle, the legislators have fronted Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki as the region's spokesperson, a development that is set to deepen the growing rift. At least 13 members of parliament declared their interest to champion their own political interests away from the larger Mount Kenya West, which now points to impending political realignments in the restive region.
As the elected leaders from the Mount Kenya East region, we have met today, and after comprehensive deliberations, we have unanimously resolved to chart the way forward for the socio-economic development and political agenda of our people and the region as a bloc. Today's meeting is a crucial step in shaping our collective efforts to deliver the progress and growth that our constituents in Mount Kenya East deserve. The appointment reflects the trust and recognition the President has placed on Mount Kenya East, and we are grateful for the opportunity to serve in the national leadership. We acknowledge the need for a strong linkage with the executive to fast-track our region priorities. Through collaboration and constant dialogue, we are confident that Mount Kenya East will progressively secure a stronger recognition in the national agenda. Our voice and collective decision in the national matters cannot be assumed. As we continue to support and oversight the current government, we remind our leaders that our numbers matters, and we expect to see more development initiatives to reflect our contributions to the national vote.
Well, that is something interesting that we'll definitely see is quite a few reactions from the Mount Kenya West Wing now. But also in the corridors of court, the High Court has found Acting Police Inspector General Gilbert Masengeli guilty of disobeying court orders. Justice Lawrence Mugambi said impunity and open defiance cannot be allowed, and those hell-bent won't find refuge. Masengeli was required to appear in court on Monday to explain the circumstances surrounding the disappearance of 3 people in Kitengela who went missing on August 19th. Several summons have been issued by the court, but Masengeli has snubbed all of them. On Monday, he sent the Deputy Inspector General of the Kenya Police Service, Eliud Langat, to represent him, saying he was in Wajir over security matters. However, Justice Mugambi, in his brief ruling, said the IG has held the court at ransom and it is no longer able to ascertain what could have happened to the petitioners.
When courts issue orders, they do not do so as suggestions or pleas to the persons at whom they are directed. Court orders issued ex cathedra are compulsive, peremptory, and expressly binding. It is not for any party, be he high or low, weak or mighty, and quite regardless of his status or standing in society, to decide whether or not to obey, to choose which to obey and which to ignore, or negotiate the manner of his compliance.
this court has been very ready to hear explanations, to hear requests, and in many instances be very agreeable with the respondents.
The acting Inspector General of Police was held up at the coast on operational matters, specifically Lamu, and that he was proceeding to the northeastern corridor of the Republic, that is Wajir, Mandera, and those sites. My Lord, we did indicate to the court that the operational matters that the IG is involved in are in the context of securing the Republic, and that while we do not disclose in public the nitty-gritties of those operations,
a magistrate court has declined to terminate the inquest into the murder of Dutch tycoon Tob Cohen. Milimani Magistrate Eric Wambo said anybody wishing to have the inquest terminated or closed must make a formal application in court. The magistrate explained that in the absence of affidavits or applications to support the same, it would not be for the court to close the matter. In 2022, the Director of Public Prosecutions withdrew the murder charges against Cohen's widow, Sarah Wairimu, and her co-accused, and subsequently registered the matter as an inquest. They issued a press statement explaining the decision they took, saying several things emerged during the reviewing of the file that were unclear, leading to the withdrawal of the murder charge.
To this court, in the absence of any law to terminate the proceedings before any evidence is presented, then I have no jurisdiction to do so. Jurisdiction is everything. It emanates from the Constitution and the statute. Having said as above, it is this court's humble and respectful view that the office of the public prosecution, if they wish that this inquest be closed or terminated, it is only proper that they should file affidavits to indicate their desire and or intention to terminate the proceeding and file be closed. Submissions from the bar may not suffice. The same also applies. The same also applies to the family of the deceased. At this point, this court pauses and asks itself this question: what happens if these two parties withdraws, terminates, and close this file and the proceedings? Thereafter, another member of the public indicates their desire or intention to testify. I leave it at that.
Former Kenyan presidential candidate Mohamed Abduba Dida is serving a 7-year sentence in Illinois, United States, for stalking and transmitting threats. Dida has been serving his sentence at the Big Muddy Correctional Center in Illinois since November 18, 2022, after being convicted of stalking and intimidating an unidentified victim. The 49-year-old former teacher was found guilty of 2 charges, the first for stalking and transmitting threats, which resulted in a 2-year sentence. The second count was for aggravated stalking and violation of a restraining order, which saw the court slap him with a 5-year sentence. During the hearing in 2021, Dida was being held in custody in McLean County in Illinois, where the offense was committed. Now, to Taita Taveta, healthcare services in the county have been paralyzed for the 5th day due to a strike by healthcare workers demanding the fulfillment of their grievances. Talks between the county government and healthcare workers unions have hit a deadlock, prompting the Taita Taveta County Assembly to intervene by summoning both parties to the assembly to seek a resolution to the strike, which has left residents struggling to access medical care and essential health services.
Bunge hili linatambua uzito wa masuala yanayowakumba wahudumu wa afya na sio wa afya tu, hata wengine katika idara mbalimbali na kuwapelekea wao kugoma. Bunge hili pia lina madhumuni ya kuingilia kati kuona kwamba mikakati inawekwa na serikali ya kaunti ya kutatua matatizo hayo. Hata hivyo, hilo haliwezekani kwa urahisi ikiwa wahudumu wa afya wataendelea kataa kuzungumza na bunge hili. Tunachukua fursa hii basi kualika wahudumu wa afya kupitia kwa wawakilishi wao na vyama vya kupigania haki zao kukubali kufanya mazungumzo na bunge hili kwa ajili ya kusitisha mgomo wao na kurejesha huduma za afya katika kaunti yetu. Tunawasihi wahudumu hao pia vile wa afya kuzingatia kiapo walichokula kwamba maisha ya wagonjwa hayatakatizwa kwa kukosa huduma za afya. Tuko na huzuni kwamba huduma za afya zimeweza kusitishwa, lakini vile hatujalala. Bado tuko imara kutetea mwananchi. Ndio maana tukachukua hatua hii. Ijapokuwa hatukualikwa, hatukuhusishwa, tumesema hapana, sisi kama viongozi jukumu letu la kwanza la uwakilishi. Basi wale tunaowakilisha wanalia pale chini. Na ndio maana sasa tunachukua nafasi hii kuweza kuuliza kwa nini hili haliko sawa, hili haliko sawa. Na mwisho wa siku basi suluhisho litapatikana, na iwapo kuna mahali tutaona utepetevu, mwananchi wa Taita Taveta, sisi kama bunge hatutasita kuharakisha hatua au taratibu ule unaotakikana wa kuwaondoa wengine ofisini ili kuapisha wale ambao wanaweza wakafanya pia hizo kazi.
A section of leaders within the ODM party are now proposing Siaya County Governor James Orengo as the new ODM party leader, a position currently held by Raila Odinga. In a press briefing, leaders led by the Nairobi ODM County Chairman George Aladwa called on the ODM party leadership, which will meet this week, to make a decision to ensure that the party's new leadership is strong. ODM chairpersons from all 47 counties in the country will meet to discuss the party's future, while their leader Raila Odinga continues his campaign to become the chairperson of the African Union Commission.
Kutakuwa na vacuum ama kutakuwa na nafasi ya party leader wa ODM baada ya baba kutoka, so tulikuwa napendekeza ya kwamba gavana wa Siaya Mheshimiwa James Orengo aweze kufikiriwa kwa hiyo kiti cha party leader cha ODM cha Kenya mzima. Na sisi kama Nairobi tumekubaliana kwa kauli moja na kila mtu ameweka sahihi ya kwamba tunamuunga mkono, ya kwamba tunaunga Orengo mkono apewe kiti cha party leader katika chama chetu cha ODM.
In the event Raila Amolo Odinga clinches the AU seats, ni Mheshimiwa Orengo. Na tunajua mwenendo yake na tunajua njia zake zile ampitia, na tujasema tunamsupport mwingine asije akavai. Chama yetu ni Social Democrats.
Definitely, because we want the party to have more young blood which is coming in, and also the blood which can be able to move the party forward.
Hata hizo vitu zimebaki baba, tunakuomba ujaribu tena kuteua mama ili wamama washike moral ya kufanyia party kazi.
Now, Bumula Member of Parliament Wanami Wamboka has asked government to prioritize minority groups like women and youth on development so as to empower them financially. In addition, he has promised to clear all pending bills to contractors in his constituency. The vocal legislator has also called for an audit of boarding schools' dormitories to ascertain whether they are up to safety standards level.
Workmanship, kazi mzuri na kumaliza kwa wakati ufaao. Mimi kama mbunge will not compromise. Tumeelewana. Wakipewa kazi wafanye kazi mzuri. Waache mwanafunzi afurahi, mwalimu afurahi, mzazi afurahi. ndio itakuwa furaha yangu kama mbunge. A deliberate effort, commitment kwamba nataka nikuze ile wanabiashara upcoming wale vijana, na niliweza kuomba ofisi inahusika na procurement wa prioritize wa mama na vijana ambao wamekuwa neglected katika hiyo sheria. Sasa it's a challenge, ni changamoto kwa serikali. We want an audit, the government to do an audit. Hata hapa kwetu Bumula tunataka audit ya hizo dormitories zetu, tuone zinafikia ile standard zimewekwa ama hapana.
Tumekubali kufanya kazi pamoja kama contractors, na amekubali kuinua wanakandarasi wa Bumula na wanakandarasi wote ambaye atapata kazi Bumula.
Hizo pending bills ametuashua ya kwamba before 20 kura 2027 atakuwa at least ameclear up those pending bills.
Now to sports, Harambee Stars are gearing up to face Namibia in their second 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier match scheduled for Tuesday, September 10th, that is this evening actually, at Orlando Stadium in Johannesburg. Kenya began their qualification campaign with a goalless draw against Zimbabwe at Mandela Stadium, securing a single point. In the other Group J match, Cameroon defeated Namibia, placing them at the top of the group with 3 points. Kenya and Zimbabwe are currently tied with a point each, while Namibia is yet to register any points in their qualifiers. Well, all the best to Harambee Stars as they take on Namibia tonight. Hopefully we win the match and at least move top of the table, even if it's tentatively. So we wish them all the best. Well, that is where we wrap it up this afternoon. Thank you very much for watching. Have yourself a blessed afternoon. Manukato comes up at the top of the hour with Teddy Psalmist. So keep it EBN TV. Don't go anywhere.